Hello, hello, hello. Viewers around the world, you are welcome. You're welcome. It's another relaunch of the SSM Between the Lines. Monday, 20th of April. We had small break in transmission there, but we're back. We're back, and it's good to have our viewers follow us again. My name is Mark Godwin. I'm here in Milan studio. Hopefully, our colleagues from the other parts of the world will join us. So this is Between the Lines. Between the Line is the program we do every Monday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, giving real-time updates as it affects us, those of us also living in diaspora. What we say is elevate your new week, feel your success, kickstart your weekday with this news updates, and get informed, deciphering world events as they happen around us. So once again, my name is Mark Godwin, and there are a couple of news flying now, but we'll be back. I'll be back so we can give some of the updates. Stay tuned, don't touch that dial. This is Between the Lines.
To know ADC, you see a handshake, a symbol that stands for belief, passion, ideas and creativity, service with integrity, confidence and commitment. We are the definition of democracy. Your party, for you and by you. Every life is important. Every right is respected. We promote friendship, cooperation and collaboration. We believe that when we work together, we make great things happen. With love and respect, we shake hands. Yes, we shake hands. Therefore, we say, ADC arise. ADC arise. ADNC arise and shine.
This message is endorsed by ADC 7th Zone, ADC-DN, African Democratic Congress, Diaspora Nigerians, Diaspora Network.
Yes, Between the Lines. We're back here, viewers. My Godwin Iwejuwa. I'm back with my men, great brothers, friends, colleagues from different parts of the world. Joining us here is Dr. Lufemi. Dr. Lufemi, go ahead. Can you hear me?
Hello, good evening, Brother Mike. It's good to have you, good to see you. Good evening, Nigerians. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Good evening, citizens of the world worldwide. Good evening, Nigerians at home. Sir George, good evening, my brother.
Yes,
yeah, George is there. Dr. Femi, I was going. It's just less than a week that we've not seen, and you just forgot my name. George, you're welcome. George, go
I know, my Godwin. My God, he called you brother Mike. All right, Mark. he was close though. Mike and Mark are just a little close, so it's all right. But you guys are discussing every day, so don't put it on the length of time we were away. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen around the world. My name is George, all the way from Canada. We want to welcome you to our show today, Between the Lines, where we tell you like it is and tell you the truth, from the organic truth, not paint away truth. Organic truth. So we want to welcome you to our show today,
guys. While we were in that short few break, your various clips, we call them short clips. They were all blazing. George's clip on the light thing, Tinubu give us electricity. George, that thing has done. That's how Americans say. I mean, you're talking about close to 15 grand views and comments. I think I might send you the link again.
Yeah, send me the link.
Dr. Lufemi's too. Lufemi brings what I see, he has his behaves of fans. You know, this Tinubu APC. So they go with him everywhere he goes, and they just keep watching him. All right, guys, let's go into what's happening. A lot is happening, gentlemen. Let's talk about something very serious. Please, I want us to be serious. I mean, to say it as it is, no bias. Is Tinubu's borrowing around the world? Is it sinking Nigeria into a deeper situation of poverty and debt trap? This morning, World Bank came up with some information, and also so many other things. Are we in the right path, borrowing money, borrowing from everywhere, when we can outsource also funds within? Let me start with Dr. Femi. Are we sinking down with this borrowing?
Now, in economics, now if we look at it from the perspective of the normal human being, so if I borrow, I become poorer, I become this and that. But in perspective of economy, international economics, before anyone can borrow you money, it shows that you have some level of credibility. Now, in the Western world where we live in, I'll give you an example. If you want to take a mortgage, if you have not owned before and paid back, nobody will touch you with a pole. So in international economics, what you do is that nobody waits until you make money and put the money together before you start putting infrastructure in place. The infrastructure you put in place, when you borrow money for the infrastructure, the only thing if you're borrowing money to service debt, that is not acceptable. But if you are borrowing money to make infrastructure, those infrastructures will make the money back for you. That is what borrowing does to. It's like I borrow money to buy a house. The house gets value, and therefore, by the time I remortgage my house, I can pay back the money. I can have more. I still have a house, and I still have value on my house. That is what borrowing does when we talk about personal borrowing, when you call it mortgage or real assets. But when a country borrow money for infrastructural borrowing, it improves the life of people. It also encourages the economy. Now look at if borrowing is done for coastal road, what it does, it will open the corridors of all those coastal area. The value of properties that area improves. Also, it opens up the east zone, which has ports that has been moribund over the years. Within 3 or 4 hours, any load that is put in the port in the east can get to Lagos or other part of Nigeria because of the eastern route, instead of 4 or 5 days on the road and the risk of that for insurance. So what that does is that it opens up businesses, opportunities, and also improve the life of people, and the borrowing is there. But if you say we're not going to borrow, we want to keep ourselves in there, you will remain in one space while your population is increasing, and you realize that you cannot make up for that. So borrowing for infrastructure, yes. Borrowing for other things, for amenity, for frivolity, and for jolly, no.
All right. Okay. December 2025, Nigeria is having of 159 trillion, 159 trillion naira in debt. This figure was projected to be used for something, but it's exceeding. In fact, as this morning, what we heard is now almost 170 trillion compared to 2025. So I really don't get what Dr. Femi said. George, come in. The trajectory.
Okay, you know what we're hearing here is, how you have the principles of democracy, the benefits of democracy if it is well run, the principles of borrowing, and if it's borrowed for the right reasons, it is okay. Now, the point we are saying is this: in the past 2.5 years, there has been an increase of borrowing. 60 trillion naira. extra from 2023. Okay, watch this now. On top of already, so what they are saying is that compared to the 8 years of Buhari, to Asiwaju's 2.5 years, he's exceeded what Buhari borrowed in 8 years versus what's this one. No, listen to this. Let's not laugh, because what is happening today is, you know, there are certain principles that we will look into to understand the difference between, you know, you being frivolous with your borrowing. Let me just say this. The bank will borrow a person who comes in there to borrow money because they have good credit, but they borrow money and they go and buy a brand new vehicle. They go and buy, you know, a brand new house. They go and buy all kinds of things. You call it infrastructural borrowing. Okay, now what happens with that is, if you are unable to pay at a particular point, where your household is now suffering, they're not able to eat because you bought a brand new house, you bought brand new cars, you bought all kinds of things. Now, is that a wise borrowing? So what we are saying is that it is actually the World Bank who is bringing this warning.
Yeah.
And somebody will say, oh, the World Bank praised us, you know, last time. Yeah, they can praise you last time when you're doing good, but when they discover areas where you are being frivolous or being irresponsible with your borrowing based on what you are earning or what you are making, it becomes an irresponsible act. So now listen to this though. Listen to this. One thing that I want Nigerians to understand is, yes, indeed, when you borrow money, you can actually borrow for infrastructural development. But in this particular case, they are saying that the borrowing is too much. Number one, you are mortgaging the future of the next generation. Now, some people are alleging that the reason why this extra borrowing is taking place is simply because they're going to use it to run for the election. So if that is the case, we are not saying that's an allegation, that's an alleged. No, listen, you can shake your head all you want to. Truth cannot be, you know, truth can never be defied. You know, you can speak the truth and allow it to stand on its own. So what we are saying is this. Number one, we gotta be careful the level of borrowing, because how can you, in 8 years of Buhari versus in 2.5 years of Asiwaju, you've already increased by 60 trillion naira. And the fact is that the normal people in Nigeria are not feeling all this borrowing money. Look at what is happening in Abuja, where the police, the retired police people, we're going to talk about it later, they are going through hell, literal hell on earth. So let's become wise in what we do. It is very important that we do so, because there are so many tentacles to you being having the ability to borrow versus you using that money for the purpose where it will increase the welfare of the people in the country. That's what we are talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
Sorry, Mark, can I put on can I put on the cap of my mathematics? Can I put on the math of a mathematician? I have a PhD in mathematics. I'm going to put on the hat of a mathematician. Now, there were people that are comparing Buhari and Bola Ahmed Tinubu are either illiterate or they are doing it because they have ulterior motive. Let me just give a simple analogy.
You cannot begin to insult people because they have their own opinion. You saying they are ignorant. The fact we are saying here, listen to this though. Listen, before you continue. No. You have to clean it up right now. Because you cannot do that.
Let me educate. Let me educate. Now, if Nigeria borrow, listen, under Buhari, if Nigeria borrow £100, under Buhari, that is 25,000 naira. Now, if Nigeria borrow £100 now, it is 200,000 naira. So those who are saying trillion naira, they are using the calculation. Hold on, they are using the exchange rate under Buhari, which was the squeezed and subsidized exchange rate. They are using that as an analogy to make this look bad. Because the same £100 will give us 25,000 naira under Buhari. But now it will give us 200,000 naira in Nigeria now. So somebody that says trillion naira, they are not using the same exchange rate for the same borrowing. So when they're making it look so bad because they are using the old exchange rate versus the new exchange rate. This is the new exchange rate is about 2,000 naira to 1. Then it was about 250 to 1. So that is what that is the difference in the size.
Do you know what, Dr. Olufemi, you are shooting yourself on the foot by standing on that. No, hold tight. Let me tell you. Let me show you how you are doing that. Yeah. Under Buhari, the exchange rate was a certain amount. Under Asiwaju, that I'm supporting, exchange rate has gone so bad that money has become so valueless. So what you are doing is you're shooting Buhari, you are shooting Asiwaju. No, you're shooting Asiwaju because under Buhari, exchange rate was neither had more value than right now. So it must have been Naira has more value. What are you saying? Are you arguing backwards?
It does not. It does not. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you in economics. In economics, please, in economics, listen, in economics, Nigeria now should be doing better now because when you have, let me explain to you. If you buy something in America today for $100 and you send it to Nigeria today, somebody, because you are importing from abroad, you are using Nigerian money to go and purchase something from abroad, you will spend more money. But if you produce something in Nigeria and you send it abroad, you will make more money. This economy is supposed to encourage people to export and make more money. If I buy a goat in Lagos and I roast it and send it to London, I buy a goat of 30,000 naira. I roast it for 20,000, making 50,000 naira, and I sell it for 200 pounds in UK. I will make 400,000 naira in Nigeria. What I did for 100,000 naira, I make 400,000 naira. So it's supposed to encourage people to export. We are an importing economy. Why were we doing that? Because we are subsidizing naira with oil money. That's not the original value of naira. We are using a fake value for naira.
Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah, listen. No, listen to this. We are servicing our loan with 100. Listen. Most of the time, the reason why they are attacking the government is because it seems like the government is borrowing money to service the old loans. No, and that's exactly what it is. It's a cycle. It's a wrong cycle. No. You can't say no. What are you saying no for? Statistically, the data are there. 130% of our money that we are borrowing is using to service loans that are already there, and we are increasing it. So tell me, if that is the case, why is everybody in Nigeria not feeling the pleasure of this borrowing? Why? Because it's gotten worse.
Why is everybody feeling the pleasure of this borrowing? Doctor, according to the Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Taiwo Oyedele, he said that he rejected the claims of that the World Bank report. He said the federal government has also dismissed those allegations of revenue diversion. We will also talk about revenue diversion. George talked about borrowing money for election, and you laughed, Dr. Femi. But that's a fact. You see, the thing is, when you try to be out of being politically correct, people will say it's crazy. That's not true.
What is the evidence? What is the evidence of that? Where is the evidence of that?
Hold on. The World Bank is saying that their funds missing. And you say, what's the evidence? Well, are they going to go to the moon and discover evidence there? They know what they are talking about.
World Bank has evidence, but you see, they are waiting for maybe when it comes to push.
World Bank has evidence that Nigerian money is missing. World Bank has evidence. Now listen to yourself, please. Please listen to yourself. World Bank have evidence Nigerian money is missing. So World Bank is now the Bank of Nigeria. Diverted to what? You have just said it now that the Minister of State for Finance has disputed that.
What do you expect him to do, Dr. Femi? What do you expect him to do, Dr. Femi? To agree? To say yes, the money is being diverted? There is evidence, but the problem we have today is when the truth is being told, you have people who are blind loyalists, who are just psychopaths that can never admit the truth because it doesn't fit their political narratives. This is exactly what we're saying. We need to understand that truth stands the test of time. You can't, because you're blinded because you are APC, you see the truth, you see white, you call it black, you see black, you call it white. You cannot do that. State the truth so that no, seriously, you cannot do that. When you come to the platform of news, listen, when you come as a journalist, you have the ability to remain neutral and speak the truth when it fits the narrative, and then don't every time when truth comes up, you will begin. What you are saying is a hypocrisy. It's also honestly blind hypocrisy. You cannot defend the indefensible, Dr. Femi. You cannot. Don't do that.
Now, listen, you have just said something. Mark has just said something now. It has been disputed by the minister.
What do you expect the minister to do?
What do you expect?
To agree? What do you expect him to do? To agree?
Listen, can I ask you, Sir George? Sir George, can I ask you? The information that you are believing verbatim, was it an official statement from the World Bank?
It was stated by the World Bank that money is missing. Money is missing, diverted, and
you did not answer that
question. It is listen to me. Listen. You see, one thing about this situation is this. Okay, we're doing journalism as we are in the law court. You can't do that. Journalism stands the test of telling the truth. You just cannot be a journalist, and because you are blinded. Hold on. Because you are blinded by political affiliation or tribal sentiment, and then you begin to deny independence. You can't do that. We are not doing law here. We're stating facts as it is. I support APC. When APC is doing well, I raise my hands up. When they're doing bad as a journalist, I must call it forth. And let's go back to the drawing board and change the narratives.
You have just made a statement, and I ask you a simple question about that statement. You have not answered that question. Was it an official newsletter of
it does not matter. What we are saying on the news today, the World Bank is saying that money is missing in our account. It's diverted. And then you stand over here without any forensic investigation or finding out how they found out. You just say, no, you're laughing. No. What you need to say.
Listen, anybody can say anything because we are in the era of AI and we are in the era of fake news. Anybody, until if there's a newsletter from World Bank, I do not believe it. End of story. I'm not discussing this anymore. I'm not discussing it.
It's
the minister. The minister.
Forget about what the minister is saying. Don't forget about what the minister. The minister will defend his office. The minister will always defend his office. So we don't take that, as an evidence of that things did not happen.
Moreover, George, sorry, I need to clarify this. The minister did not say that World Bank didn't say so. The minister is rather refuting that statement, but it is an official statement, Dr. Femi. World Bank said that funds are being diverted. How they used it is, they used diverted, hidden spending, and all of those words that Nigerian funds are being diverted and there are hidden spending going on. Somebody's network is making it. So it is not something to be angry about. It's something that we should rather look into and call out the government to stop whatever loans and credits they are putting on our head and let us get into real serious. I mean, they came to your place, Dr. Femi. They came to the UK. We know what happened in the UK. 78 million pounds was borrowed from the UK government, and we know the reason. We know everything. But we don't want to come into all the story. Because I mean, why do we go if they are saying they are using it to come and repair the port? Already, our port says it generates 3 trillion every month, 3 billion every month. Now you're still going to borrow money to repair the port that generates 3 billion. I mean, sometimes I don't know how to reason. Something is earning you 3 billion, and you're going out again to now borrow 75 million pounds to repair that thing that's any 3 billion. Why not just put the 3 billion aside and use it to maintain the port? I mean, it's too much. We won't say those things anymore. Anyway, let's not get petty. Let's not also get emotional. It's a serious situation, Dr. Femi. And
can we before we leave this subject, let me just make something clear to everybody.
Okay.
There are certain fundamental things that happen in Nigeria that also happen in other countries, which we know that when they happen, we know the truth behind it. As much as we cannot go to forensically begin to investigate and bring it out, for those who are forensic journalists or investigative journalists, they can find it out. But the fact is, when you hear certain things, knowing our government and the way we operate in Nigeria, there is no denial for such. We can deny it because we are supposed to, because we don't want to be looking bad. But the fact of the matter is that when they say that money is being diverted, the first question is, what time of the year, where are we periodically right now when it comes to things that are happening? This is the time of election. So, you know, I mean, like when we hear money being diverted, we already know that most of the time during the election, government finds loopholes where they can bring out money, you know, to do election. And most of the time, it might be in a situation where that is so tough, like what is happening right now, whereby, you know, money can go somewhere and then reverse itself back and then be put into these communities because of election. So let's just leave that alone and until there is an investigation and we can clarify this to be factually accurate. Or not?
No, it's in the news of World Bank. There's nothing accurate there, George. I follow things. All right, gentlemen, if you guys want to talk about that, let's come into other business talk. Turkey Airline and Air Peace are signing a joint deal to boost their global connectivity, they call it. I think this is a good one, George, because the Turkey Airline is doing very well. Turkey Airline is one of those airlines that is really moving its weight around, and signing this agreement with Air Peace will make traveling look seamless and expand more of their reach around. What do you guys say, gentlemen? Is that
well? I applaud this. I applaud this particular thing that is being done, because what it's doing is, you know, it's one of the collaborations that many international airlines are doing, whereby it makes it easy for them to save gas. You know, where they can actually collaborate with other airlines, so that, you know, now between Turkey and, you know, Air Peace, you know, for instance, some Nigerians can use Air Peace to go to Turkey. From Turkey, then they go to any other part of Europe, which is also a collaborative effort, which helps us a lot. What it does, it increases the capacity of each airline, because each one can actually receive, when they receive, you know, the ticket money or whatever the case might be, depending on the agreement, they can share that revenue, you know, with each other. So now, you know, Air Peace can be helping Air Turkey, you know, the Turkey Airlines, whereby they're going to other parts of Europe, but yet also when they are coming back, they can actually stop in Turkey. Air Peace can stop, Turkey Airline can stop in Turkey. Air Peace can pick them up and bring them to, you know, Africa or to Nigeria. Yeah. So that is a wonderful, wonderful collaborative effort, and I applaud that highly, because it's helping us globalize our movement and make it even cheaper for us, you know, as people, because most of the time, during Christmas time, it will take you, sometimes it take you like 48 hours to get to Nigeria, depending on the type of ticket you have. With this, it will make it easier and cheaper for travelers on both sides. So kudos.
I want to join Sir George in this one. The effort of Mr. Oyema to make traveling easy and also tourism a thing of interest in Nigeria is highly emotional. I'm very emotional about that, because I tell you, when it comes to traveling in a way, we are one of the most traveled people in the world, and we don't have a national carrier. Now, if Air Peace is filling that gap, it's a wonderful development. I remember some years back when Virgin Atlantic came and Virgin Nigeria, it was a mess because government was involved in it. And when government was involved in it, it was a mess. But now that you have private initiative that is coming in conjunction with Turkish Air, I look forward to a wonderful connection. Like I just said, it will be a collaboration that picking up. So you have a instead of stopping over, the stopover of Turkish Airlines to take you all the way to Nigeria, you did stop over and change to Air Peace, take you back to Nigeria. On your way back, you stop over in Turkey, you change to a Turkish Air, it brings to London and vice versa. So I think that's a good one.
Nice. Thank you, guys. So I don't know, you guys want to take some glass of water and refresh yourself. Let's come back. Let's come back on yes. All right.
See the man wey sabi proper gentle. He step on stage, everything set to go. With clean integrity, implant they shine bright. Skillful with the mic, he go make your day right. Oh yeah, dressed up nice for every party you see. From wedding to conference, he bring the energy. Book launch or the birthday concert on the light. He's the classy MC, we go make your event right. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, now make your event right. He's the classy MC, make your event right. See the man wey sabi proper gentle. He step on stage, everything set to go. With clean integrity, implant they shine bright. Skillful with the mic, he go make your day right. Oh yeah, dressed up nice for every party you see. From wedding to conference, he bring the energy. Book launch or the birthday concert on the light. He's the classy MC, we go make your event right. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, now make your event right. He's the classy MC, make your event right.
Here are 3 things that I absolutely loved about Nigeria. Number 1, I fit in. I fit in. Melanin, caramel, chocolate, mocha, whatever you may call it, I fit in, baby. I felt at home. I didn't feel out of place. I didn't feel like anybody was staring at me. Nobody was looking at me strange when I walked around in the stores. I mean, everybody was minding their own business. Number 2, the people. I mean, Nigerians are a vibe. The diverse culture, the different tribes, the different religions, the people are a vibe, okay? Whatever it is that you're looking for, they got it in Nigeria, okay? And they see you. They see you. They notice you. There's a sense of community. People care. Yes. And of course, you might be woken up at 2 a.m. because there's church going on the loudspeaker, but hey, nothing wrong with a little godliness, okay? Relax. Number 3, I love that Nigerians are resilient. They are resilient. Very ambitious and resilient people. They don't depend on the government for anything. They will figure out how they can take care of themselves. They see their systems. They know it's messed up. And guess what? They still thrive and they still figure out a way to make it work. So shout out to all my Nigerians. You are nothing but queens and kings in my eyes. If you're an LDR couple and you're
Elevate your new week, fuel your success. SSM invites you to kickstart each weekday with our news update Between the Lines, featuring the week's top news and analysis and the most attention-grabbing lines, deciphering world events. Hook up to SSM Monday program Between the Lines.
Yes, welcome back, gentlemen. Welcome back, George, Femi,
Yes.
Femi. We during the weekend we heard the news of vessels that began to move by the Straits of Hormuz, but suddenly again, U.S. seizes Iranian vessel. Iran is now threatening retaliation. The ceasefire plan collapsed. Fear has grown again. And we're wondering what is happening. Gentlemen, what is happening? This Monday, United States, that fragile this thing we had, the ceasefire has been. Yes. What do you say, George?
Well, you see, this is the result of entering into a situation without first studying the repercussions on the public and the repercussions on businesses and everything. You see, because, sometimes you can have a good idea, but your good idea is being implemented at the wrong time, or not studying completely whether the way you want to plan it to do, is it the right time to do it? If it is the right time, how do we apply it so that people will not be affected? You see, what happened in this particular case is where we see that Benjamin Netanyahu convinced Trump that these people were about to obliterate them, and therefore they need to be stopped immediately, which is exactly what happened with Iraq, and it's repeating itself again. The necessity for them to make sure that Iran does not get any nuclear warhead is very, very important. And I believe that they should not be allowed to have nuclear warhead, because you look at what Iran has been doing. You look at the Houthis, the three terrorist organizations fighting against Israel. It's being sponsored by Iran. The Houthis, the Hezbollah, and Hezbollah and Hamas. So when you think about the type of mentality that these people has, they are mad, they are crazy, and they must be stopped. But the point is that stopping them gotta take strategic, diplomatic, and otherwise before we go into trying to tie everybody, destroy, kill them, and thinking that once you kill the leaders, that the whole entire regime will collapse and then a new regime will come up. No, you should have planned it systematically. Even after Benjamin Netanyahu came to Trump, they should have sat down and decided the strategy to operate it. Now, what if we go? They still refuse to, regime change or whatever that we are looking for. What do? They did not put that into consideration. Today, starting from today, the federal government in Canada have actually reduced gas prices, there's some of the taxes that they apply to it until September. Why? Because people are feeling the pinch. You put $100 in your tank, it's not full, and before you go 3 places, it's done. So gas is taking the higher portion of people's income. It's a worldwide pain that is happening everywhere. So in essence, really, we saw Iran is being stupid, if you ask me, in my own personal opinion. Because number one, you cannot win this war, whether they like it or not. They cannot win it. They can only, extend the pain on the people. And this is what they're wanting to do. They want to extend the pain. And why are they always fighting their neighbors? Their neighbors didn't do anything to them. So what they need to do is to sit down, intelligently decide exactly what they want. You see, what they're doing is they feel like because we have weapons, or maybe weapons that we have is a little cheaper, and America is going to spend more money to protect or to defend, or whatever the case might be. If Trump decides tomorrow that the ground troops will go in, many lives will be lost, but this regime will go, whether they like it or not. They will go. So I believe that the best thing to do is to sit down, discuss, and lessen the pain that is causing the whole world at large. After the pandemic, we don't need this nonsense, honestly.
Strong words. Dr. Femi, so do we see things escalating, things getting out of control instead of subsiding? Go ahead.
Yeah, I like something that I just said that I really like in there is that it's a necessary war, but not properly strategized. That's the problem here. Now you planned how to go in, you have not planned how to exit it. So that's the problem with America in this case. The government in Iran is a terrorist organization. That even the terrorism to their people is high. And I don't know whether I was on this platform. I said the other day, I had about 3 colleagues in my university who are Iranians. They said they ran away from Iran because the government terrorizes the people. It's like Boko Haram taking over government in Nigeria. That's what it is. But 47 years ago, they were not in government. They were not the people in it. That's what the kind of government they had. So they came in there and they started pushing religion and their sentiment on people. And they are using the SAID fund to sponsor terrorism. And this has to stop. if they get a hand in, they have their hand on the on nuclear warhead, the whole world is in trouble. Because they have mad people that will want to head the world because they want to go to a journal where they have 7 virgins waiting for them. So these are the kind of people. These are the kind of people that has to be stopped. But the thing is this: the way we're going to because they are as they are now. This I say is my escalate is that they don't care about what happens to anyone. These are people that my colleague said, what happened? The people that shot and killed 40,000 Iranians demonstrating, we are not Iranians. They imported Hezbollah soldiers to come and do the business. They imported Hezbollah soldiers who had their face covered and they were shooting anything moving. And when they kill their citizen, they put a body bag. You have to pay to collect the body. Or they do mass burial. You have to put mass burial. So that is the kind of government you have. Now, when they do this to their own people, can you imagine what they will do to someone that are not their people, who is their neighbor, who they don't just hate? So, but for what you ask, the question you ask, it is something that we have to make go worse again before it comes better.
But you see, it's still the same. No, hold on. You see, I just wanted to add a little bit to what Dr. Femi just said. You see, what you have to understand, go to Afghanistan and see what is happening there. Because the same type of narrative took place in Afghanistan. Now, the government already came and took over, and they promised to be a little liberal, but they've gone back to that stupid religious belief that is really happening within Nigeria too. You saw that in Nigeria. This is exactly what they are doing. They want to Islamize the whole entire Nigerians. No, it is not by force. Well, this is a country with different religious beliefs and all that kind of stuff. So anybody who comes out and want to institute such strict religious adherence, like what they're trying to do in the north and what they are doing in Afghanistan, and they want to bring it into this country, they must do everything they can to release their people from the clutches of this particular bondage, because it is a bondage. I'm telling you, I have a lot of Iranian friends. When Trump went in there, they celebrated. Drinks and everything. Iranians are, because they are Muslims, they don't drink. They were drinking because this is like a huge relief to them. So whatever that needs to be done to stop this regime from doing what they are doing, and their ardent belief that Israel must be annihilated, that is one area. Because to them, if they have the weapon to do this, they will do it.
Yeah.
So they should never be allowed to have any kind of nuclear warheads among them.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So let's move on again back to Nigeria. George, you said that earlier. Retired police officers are protesting in Abuja, and in fact, I heard they had the protest up till this evening over pension scheme. Now the thing is this: they are protesting on a contributory pension scheme. They are forced to be in a scheme that they describe as fraudulent. They describe it as illegal, inhuman, and obnoxious. We need to look more into the welfare of servicemen and women. When they are caught up in a situation, the toll comes back to the citizen. You know, this increases bribery and some of all these other things that come back to the ordinary people because they feel bad. Dr. Femi, do they need to get out of that scheme, pension scheme? They said they don't like it.
Yeah, they need to get out of the pension scheme. And the greatest problem they have is the Police Service Commission. That's the greatest problem they have. Police Service Commission is insisting on keeping them in there, and it's not happening. The Army had left, the Navy had left, the Air Force had left. They were in the same contribution system before. But the officers in charge of the Police Service Commission, who are former police leaders.
Officers.
Yeah, officers, senior officers. They're normally past senior officers. They are in charge of this commission, and the ones that insist on them. What happens is that when you contribute into this kind of pot, you're supposed to increase the value of the money, use the money for investment, create more money to the pot, so that they can have more money in their hands. These people have contributed for 30, 35 years. what have you been doing with those contributions they've made over these years? You're supposed to increase it, but they've not.
Okay.
The problem is that two things might like to happen. It's been stolen, bad investment, or no investment at all.
Yes.
Therefore, they're expecting money to drop from heaven into that pot to do that. If these people have been told, don't contribute anything, go and contribute to private portfolios for your retirement, they will have taken their money. Also, don't contribute anything, take your whole money away. Go and they will have, some of them will use the money to invest on something else. But they were banking on it that money is going to work for them when they retire, and it's not. So this is a police service commission that has done this in collaboration with some investment organizations, but the government needs to intervene, even if it's a buyout.
One of the major problems we have is lack of accountability. And when these things are happening, we don't see the government move swiftly to go back and do a forensic investigation. When this happened, how was it happening? Comb without any independent body to do this investigation, to bring the truth out to light. Now, I know what you're saying, Dr. Femi, and I agree with you, but they are not leaving the money lying down. They're not. You know what they do? They will get this, I'm talking about trillions, okay, lodged in the account. They will take that money, put it into an investment account where the bank guarantees them even a minimal percentage of 5%, okay? They will leave it there. And periodically, what they will do is they bring the money out, lodge it back into the account again for a period of time, remove it again, and put it back into this thing. So nothing is really happening while they have enough money to sustain those that are in need of cash. But these people that are putting that money in there, the money they're putting in there is being invested for private use. They're making trillions of naira out of this investment fund. That's why it's not growing. But if what you had suggested, if they are putting that money in there and it is really increasing, because the government is supposed to, add to what you have put in there, for your own welfare out of the interest that is being brought. But no interest is going into the coffers. They are pocketing it. And that's exactly, go and investigate, you find out exactly this is what they are doing. And it is sad. And now what is happening is this. Now, can I say something to you? Just, Dr. Femi, just put in your computer 1 trillion naira in only 5% per annum. How much would that come out to? Now you think about it now, because when this is happening, every single authoritarian or people with authorities that is supposed to be saying something are taken care of when that money comes out. So when the investigation comes, they will close it all up because they don't want to be named. This is exactly what is happening when police officers are outside being mandated by their commander to get enough percentage of bribery for their own pockets. So these people are now mandated, so you have to bring in certain percentage. So they are there forcing people to give them money because the people who are sitting down in the offices demand certain percentage for their own. So what do you say? It is a cycle of corruption.
Everybody is sorted.
Yes,
exactly.
Everybody sorted. So, but the question, the talk now is let the president step in, because I know there was a bill that was passed in December last year that gives some kind of arrangement to these retirees, police retirees. So I think we should go back to that bill, police exit bill, they called it, and look at ways that this could be arranged so that these men, old men that have served their country, will not be left destitute. I mean, seeing them, the studio couldn't play us the video. Seeing them saying, look how haggard they are, hungry, it's really sad. And these are servicemen that have worked for the country.
It also happened it happened also to university professors.
Yeah.
And many of them actually died standing in line. They died. Some of them collapsed right there. I'm telling you. So you see, what I'm saying is this: when the fabric of our society is well saturated with corruption, and those corruptions are so deep and so that the people that are occupying these offices, they have mastered the way to do it and get away with it, because there are no accountability for the people, things that they're responsible for. That's why you keep on cycling. No, can I say something? You see, everybody's going to Asiwaju. Asiwaju is not a miracle worker. Asiwaju can just come out. I mean, some of these things have existed for many, many years. Now, the only thing, it would take time to go in and begin to change the narrative and bring it back to what it's supposed to be. Because he cannot just do anything. Most of the money that are being owed right now have already been eaten 15, right, 25 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I also say this? Most of the time, I think we get something very, very wrong in Nigerian parlance and Nigerian system. And there are two things about that. One, when we talk about this level of corruption, it is not, most of the time, they are not political appointees that are involved. They are civil servants who are experts in doing this. So they have mastered over the years. They mastered how to do this over the years. So sometimes you get home, you see this is a civil servant. Look at the number of houses he owns. Look at the number of hotels he owns. He's a civil servant. And you can say, how much is his salary? But what he's doing is that he is preferring government money through a system that works for him. I'll give you an example. I want to pay for a land documentation in Lagos State. The document was supposed to, I need to pay 1.3 million naira for that document officially. They were asking for 3 million naira. And I asked them, the 3 million naira you are asking me to pay, which receipt are you to give me? You know what receipt they want to give me? 750,000 naira receipt.
Oh my God.
The 1.3 million, the official 1.3, they are still they are devaluing the documentation down, so that the difference in this 1.3 to 750, they go to official. Then the other amount that's left, the 1.7 that is left, is going to be shared in the office. So who do you want to report to? Everybody is involved in it. Secondly, when this crisis comes into it, the other option is to make it a case for the National Assembly to go into this. But the National Assembly also is hampered by the fact that the civil servants involved in here are the terrible ones. Look at what happened to the Minister for Works. He insisted on some documentation concerning that. The civil servant locked him out. He had to simmer down for the current minister. They locked him out. They are going to mess him up. He had to simmer down. They told him, okay, calm down. This is Federal Ministry of Education, not your Ministry of Works, not your state. You are not the governor of that state. This is Ministry. They will mess you up. So he had to simmer down, had to work with them. So what are we talking about here? When we talk about corruption, we think about government corruption in high places. Corruption is endemic in our society. That when we talk about that, like Judge just said, the money of these policemen have been stolen for over 25 years.
Yes.
How do you want to deal with that? Except there's a miracle.
Yes, that's the only thing that can stop this.
Look at the ASU one. The ASU one. The presidency had to pay back agreement of 2009. 2009. They refused. People in the ministry refused to service the agreement of 2009. They kept on pushing it. That was why it was settled with over 51 billion naira. 51 billion naira to settle ASU backdated. Some people have died. Most of these people have died off. Their family are just collecting this gratuity. Why? Civil servants are the one in it. And some people call them, like some friend of mine, Femi will call it, said they are evil servants.
No, they're evil servants. They're evil servants, not stable.
But it's good to have you guys come back. I wanted to bring the story of Atiku that is complaining that NBC, the National Broadcasting Corporation, is attempting to silence media homes ahead of 2027. Femi, I know.
Please let that man go ahead.
Can I say something? You know, number one, okay, whether we like it or not. When he came to the interview on Arise News, my question, he was asked, the question was, you know that there is a handshake understanding, even if you call it MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, when it is written or not, between the North and the South. Why do you keep on injecting yourself into running for this office when you know that it is impossible for you to win? You cannot win and legitimately come to become the president in Nigeria because of the understanding between the North and the South. That is the reason why I keep on alleging, and I keep on alleging, that this man is a wicked man called Atiku. And Atiku must be in the government. Somebody is paying Atiku to come and make sure that nobody from other parts of the world will become the president. Because the man is 79 years old, and I think he's older than that. So his thinking right now is, oh, if I get in now, and then maybe if I lose in another 4 years, I can come back because the presidency is coming to the North. But the problem he is having is this. The man is a wicked man, if you will. I don't care what anybody tells me, because I understand politics and I understand the way that the inside of it works. The man must be, or he's too selfish, too self-centered, and he's not a diplomatic man. Because if he is, he would allow others to go in. And then maybe when the time comes, he becomes a patron. So all these things is self-served. He cannot win as Asiwaju, for goodness sake. So step down. Sit your behind down and mind yourself for wives and children, and let those who are able go and run for politics. And you are here just disturbing and disrupting the whole entire political water in Nigeria. We don't want you, Atiku. Go back home. Thank you. He is too covered in his cocoon, and he believes that. Look at the way he's. If you are not careful, it's going to. I want the opposition to be vibrant. I want the opposition to come up, and I want but Atiku will mess everybody up. He's so selfish. It's all about him. This has been contesting since Abiola days, 1993.
I thought APC people will prefer him. After the podcast that day, a lot of APC people heard his stand.
No, anybody they bring, nobody, none of the people there, none of those people in that coalition can defeat Asiwaju. So it doesn't matter who you bring. None of them.
You guys are. You're
wrong. But can I say something? Can I say something? Can I say something? Yes. Okay, before we end. The last thing that Asiwaju was asked a question last week. And that question, I have mentioned it here when it was asked Buhari, what if you lose? Buhari started saying, I have 3 court cases. The first time I ran, the case is in the court. The second time I ran, the case is in the court. The third time I ran, the case is in the court. I'm not going to lose. That's a message. Asiwaju came out this time, and he told everybody, he sent the same exact message to the people. He's not going to lose, and he will not lose. So you all can play all your politics all you want to. No, you're going to see. Let's play. You can play all your politics all you want to. Asiwaju will be there for 8 years. It's his turn. It's his turn for 8 years. Emilakon, 8 years Emilakon. It is not, no contest. No contest. No contest.
All right. Let's see how that plays out. Thank you, Dr. Olufemi, for coming. Sir George from Canada. You guys, so we're back. We're back, and we're fully back with everything. Also with interviews and everything that will be following up. So until we come back, viewers, thank you for tuning in. This has been Between the Lines, Monday, 20th April, 2025. God bless you as you start your week.
God bless you, and God bless you, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and our president and his family, and all the leaders in our country. May God bless you. Continue to look in the same direction together, and ensure that the paradise we're looking for will come to us, so we can come back home during retirement.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Come back home during retirement. Thank you.
God bless.